All right, it's Preon Terraces in the finals of the Corsair Cup. I'm Rifkin, casting with Zombie Grub as always, and we have no early pools going down. What is life right now?
Oh my god.
All right, spawning on the bottom right side, it is going to be the North American resident in the Root Gaming House, the Blue Zerg, Hydra.
In the top left, as the Red Zerg, he's Bly.
All right, Bly quiz, real quick. Where's Bly from?
Ukraine?
Yep. Of course,
What?
this is, well, I don't know. It's leading into what I was going to say. This is the European tournament, guys, so a bit of a home field advantage for Bly. Hydra, of course, slightly disadvantaged by ping, but as we saw in that last series versus a laser, not so badly. I mean, it was 1-1, but I feel like once he finally got ahead in that game, he stayed ahead, and he's got a good... Like, Hydra's got a really good grasp on ZvZ, and he has for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually don't know who to give this to. Bly's really aggressive, but Hydra's really good defensively.
Right, like, that's the thing. Like, Bly, like, of the two, I would expect Hydra to play a lot more standard, and I'd expect Bly to play a little bit different, like whether it's Mutalisks or whether it's like early pool timings. But I think a lot of this first game really is going to give Hydra a feel for how he wants to play versus Bly. Because if you get hit with an early pool from Bly early on, you're like, okay, I expected this, and this is how I'll play the rest of the series out, kind of prepared for it. Bly not going for an early pool is totally fine, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that this is a gold-based map. Like, we saw it with a laser, we're seeing it with Hydra and Bly. You really want these gold minerals as soon as you can.
Yeah. There's still other ways to be aggressive. I mean, certainly we saw Hydra go for the all-in without the lair, and that does happen very commonly. One person goes for lair and upgrades, and the person doesn't. And, of course, there's just the standard Ling Flood that could potentially win a game if your opponent responds incorrectly. But Bly, you know, we mentioned the gauntlet in about 20 minutes, but I'm not even sure he's the first one playing, so I don't think he really feels that strapped for time yet. Maybe game 5. He'll be like, oh shit.
I mean, we brought it up as like a point of just reference for what's going on. It may not affect him at all, and he may just say like, okay, gauntlet, you guys can wait. Just play Pult vs. Kelzer first or something. Like, you know,
exactly.
It might not actually be a factor for Bly. It was just worth mentioning because it was kind of scary. ZvZs we've seen go on long, like 20, 30 minutes easily, so we didn't know how long that last series would take.
The speed coming down here for Bly, but not for Hydra. This is, again, a map that you can get away with a gasless expand. Hydra did it after an early pool last game, literally last game, and it's going to try and do it again. Bly actually might have known this? I'm not sure. I mean, he goes for his own really quick Roach Warren. So he either knows how Hydra plays, and Hydra does do this a lot, or he saw something. He didn't even see a spine crawler. He saw, like, really nothing. I think he's just going for his own Roach Warren just because.
I mean, keep in mind, Bly very well may have been watching that last series as well. Bly is someone who's actually watched our stream quite a bit. You know, there's not a lot of pros who do, and I don't know if they want me to name them all or not, so I won't. But there are a couple who actually do watch our stream somewhat on the regular, sometimes just as background noise, but oftentimes while they're waiting for their games in a tournament. And I think it's a smart move. Like, if Bly wasn't watching the games, I think that's stupid. Like, you really should you know it's the same matchup, you know one of those two players is going to be your opponent, you should really have an idea on who it's going to be and how they play. And the nice thing about our overlay is even if we suck at casting, they get all the information they need down here.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was wondering if Bly was going to be aggressive with his early roaches, or if it was just he was afraid Hydra was going to get aggressive with the early roaches. He didn't want to be stuck on Ling Tech, which can be a problem, but he's getting roaches now, but also third base, Ravagers being formed in 2. He could just start picking off Overlords to give him a bit of control over his opponent's scouting. But okay, there's 16 more Lings, so this will be an attack. Hydra, however, also going for his own roaches already. He should just be able to defend this fine.
Yeah, for Bly, I don't know if this is like a dedicated attack so much as just trying to control thirds, because I mean, he's seen there's already a choke, he knows there's a spine crawler there. I feel to go up that ramp, even if it was not roaches, like, would still be suicidal. But with lots of Lings flooding behind this, he's going to be able to take a fight out in the open no matter where he wants. As long as it's not at the top of the ramp, I think he'll be fine.
Well, he does not take on too many Overlords. Looks like this turned into an Overseer, so, I mean, there's nothing much to scout anymore. Hydra did see this attack incoming and is pulling everything back. He tries to get the third base, but actually loses a couple of Roaches by moving over here to those Lings, catching them. Rosa Biles hit, actually, not much. Bly's Lings a little bit. More Ravagers on the backside, and Bly is reinforcing this. He does not want Hydra to get that third base.
Well, good cancel.
Yep. And the question, of course, does Bly follow this up with macro or more dedication? As Hydra, he's getting more roaches. He didn't lose drones, just canceled a hatchery. He's getting his upgrades finished too, and Bly is definitely behind. It's very similar to the last game situation, just flipped Hydra down on the defensive. And I think Bly might have made a mistake. This is a questionable move out, but he sees just Ravagers and Lings, so knows he can target fire the Ravagers pretty quickly.
I like this move actually a lot more than futzing around and wasting shots on the Lings, because the Ravagers were going to be doing most of the damage behind this. Control from Hydra, fantastic with that decision, and now he's going to go for the counter push. Some Lings might get another cancel on the hatchery, but this is actually pretty dangerous, as Bly just lost a lot of his units in the middle of the map.
Yeah, and Hydra finished up his roach speed. He can definitely control the points of attack a little bit more, and just straight up the +1 is going to help a lot as well. Some of his roaches are pretty low on health. Bly, of course, having mostly new ones come out here. The third base does not go down for Hydra, as the Lings thought about maybe returning. No, a couple of roaches took care of him, and Hydra will not be able to bust through. Bly does defend. The game continues, and I mean, it's pretty even. Bly does have a bit of a spike now with the gold base, but Hydra's actually been winning the income war for the past couple minutes.
So that's the thing, though, actually, as I bring up the income graph here. Hydra, it's weird to me that he's been winning the income graph, because it has been him behind on this base. But I guess Bly not really comfortably getting a super drone saturation up, sitting on fairly low workers. It's kind of fine for what the gold base is. Just his main ends up being fairly empty as a result. So I'm wondering if this was done accidentally, desperately, or on purposely, as I make up that word, as this will actually leave him with a very safe, fresh, big chunk of blue mineral patches by the time these start mining out. That's true. I think it is something that is unintentional. It does mean that you're going to have those dips because you're transferring drones, and as Hydra gets his own third up now with that better saturation throughout most of the game, he takes back control in the income graph. He has the upgrade lead still. In fact, it's going to have an increased upgrade lead. His +2 is going to have about a minute to just having a 2-0 lead that Hydra might be able to utilize. They're not quite at the perfect drone count yet to only be going for roaches, but both of them are only going for army right now, feeling comfortable at around 40. Hydra getting overlord speed. That certainly will be good for keeping tabs on your opponents. Their Ravagers will not be able to kill your fast overlords. He might go for 2 overlord drops too. We see this very commonly with players who get ahead. They want to go for 8 roaches segmented off, and sometimes they can do quite a bit of damage. I think one of the things that makes roach attacks really annoying to clean up is you can't just send 4 roaches to deal with 4 roaches, because it takes so long to kill each individual roach. They'll kill like 7 drones by the time you finally clean them up. Regardless, as we look down to the middle of the map, about 4 Ravagers for Bly is going to be kind of nice, but Hydra has so many roaches. The attack over here on the right side with these Lings is going to go kind of undefended, as he does say to take a fight in the middle of the map, but if he wins this fight, Hydra's probably going to go win the game. Third base be damned.
Oh, damn.
Crescent Bowls all miss. Big surround. This is like the ultimate pincer attack right in the middle of the field. Ravagers go down, Roaches go down, and Bly loses his entire army. And Hydra, most importantly, takes almost no losses there. That's definitely game. Doubling the army supply. Almost doubling the army supply. Drone pull, Spinecrawler, Queen. Like, the gold base didn't even go down. This is definitely game. Yeah. I mean, that just was in the blink of an eye there. Bly made a mistake just being out on the map like that. GG. Congratulations to Hydra. Takes the first game in the best of 5 finals. But as it is the finals, guys, we're going to start squeezing in some ads. So we'll see you here in just a moment as we get into game number 2 when we return. All right, we load back into the Ewok face map. Yeah. I think it's I think Tauntaun Lover nailed it best on Twitter with the Ewok, but it is best of 5. We're still in the finals here for the Corsair Cup. And spawning on the bottom right side of the map, he leads the series 1-0. It is going to be Root Gaming's Blue Zerg Hydra. In the bottom left, as the Red Zerg, it is in fact Bly. Okay, so this is a new map. We got to see it a couple of times earlier today, but Ruins of Indion has proven to be not too dynamic, but it does have this interesting wall you can knock down and fully wall off and have your side of the map be safe for this what is like essential no-rush situation. If either of the players know the map and they think that's the case, then it makes sense that Bly would want to get in there early before Hydra can knock that down. But at the same time, I kind of feel like this is just Bly saying, okay, I can't take Hydra in the macro game. Like, we both played really well, but he played better, so let's try and end it early.
It is not surprising to see Bly after a loss like that go for an early pull, but it's also not surprising to see an early pull in general. All those points make sense, but it is still questionable. There is a reason why you don't want to early pull on bigger maps or longer rush distances, and I'm not sure what this distance is on this map, to be honest. If I look at it real quick, I don't think it's that short, to be honest, because it's
because you got
it's
to
very
go
much
through
so up, then cross, then down. I mean, that's quite a while.
But I mean, I guess the other thing too is your natural base doesn't really have a nice defense. It's hard to actually defend this with this crazy, insane choke.
It's true, yeah.
There's a lot of things here that make this seem like it's not a terrible idea. And I think the worst part about this, though, for Hydra is the Overlord does scout the main, and you'll see some lings now. You won't get that scout on the natural. Like, it's an equally long distance to see whether it was something in the main going on or something in the natural going on. But lings now darting across the map, and Hydra, he can't do anything until his pool finishes.
Yeah, I mean, getting the scout early like that, but then the lings not being as quick kind of sucks for Bly. But honestly, by the time the Overlord scouts what's going on, they've already chosen their build. If they went 3 Hydra for a pool, they're still going to be screwed. But at least mental preparation, throwing on the Baneling Nest first instead of the speed is very important.
I do wish we would have seen this play a little bit more macro. We may, depending on how this gets deflected. But Hydra's one of these guys who's quite good at taking advantage of new maps and the tactics that go with them. And I would love to have seen how he played through this. I mean, do you remember Orena? He was like the first player we saw do the hatchery block to wall off the middle from the proxy gates. Like, Hydra's done some pretty cool stuff. We'll see if he can recover and maybe show us some of that cool stuff. But right now, one drone going down. But a decent hold to begin with. But he doesn't have speed, and that's going to make this hard to hold.
Yeah, so now we're going to see a couple of those drones go down. There you go. It snatches that last one. Drones or lings are being made into Baneling server, and that's really what he needed. Just any amount of lings available to turn into Banelings, and he should be okay after that. It's like, the one mistake would be not producing more lings, letting Bly overrun you despite having these very powerful Banelings, like that one. Okay, that one is better, but still not great.
Yeah, 2 more going to finish up in a moment. They might save the queen. No, there's no way to save the queen.
Oh, that's really disappointing.
With my dying breath, my children!
This is really not working out. He needs lings for this, not Banelings. They're so spread apart that slow lings are going to take him on 2 by 2. But the Banelings just get wasted 2 by 2, and Hydra loses a hatchery that I don't think he really wanted to lose.
No, he invested a lot to try and keep this alive. Hydra does get a hatchery up behind this, or excuse me, Bly does get a hatchery up behind this, and Hydra scouts that, which is very important to see. Problem is, though, I mean, the worker count being even leaves us a little bit favorable to Bly. Oh, Bly's going to take away the chance for Hydra to counterattack. This is so cool.
There's not even a chance for Hydra to counterattack regardless. He does not have speed, nor does he have the gas and minerals to really get it. Like, he has the gas, actually, but still, like, the minerals are going to go in a hatchery.
There's no way he knew that there wasn't going to be speed, though. Like, he saw Banelings and thought, okay, he started with Banelings, but he could have gotten for, at any point, speed. But I love the fact that he left this so low. One link could finish this off. If he does lose a fight, if he does see that there's still no base down, and Hydra was in fact going for a counterattack, you knock those rocks down, you buy yourself like a good minute of time. Plus you can knock the ones back down at home as well. I mean, I like the idea. I think it's really cool.
I certainly liked it as well. And it is something that eventually they usually get speed. Like Hydra eventually has gotten speed right now, but it's going to take a very long time for that to finish. And yeah, he could have just knocked it down, just tapped it like he did once he realized he was about to be counterattacked. Because the one problem was that he didn't have Banelings, but doesn't need Banelings, broke on the rocks. I don't know why he kept his lings on this side of the map, though.
Because I think he wanted Hydra to move out, and then... or maybe Overlord dropped to the top, I don't know, but he did hide them from that other ling, too. Like, that ling right there only saw the one ling. It didn't actually see the other ones playing around the Rosie. Huh. It's kind of interesting. Kind of cool.
Well, Hydra, though, like, seriously, seeing the hatchery go down after you dedicated so much trying to defend it, not having speed, and he just actually straight up canceled speed, I think is a better idea. I thought he might just tap out, like, especially being up 1, just let it go as a game. But he is going to try and play this through. They're both going for pretty quick layers, but Bly, of course, has more drones and is already getting into a third base. If it does become a Spire versus Spire battle, it's one that Bly should be, like, easy win. No, it's going to be Roaches for Bly at the very least, so waiting on Hydra.
This really is Bly showing me what I like most about him, though. You go for this early pull, you go for the attack early on, maybe it wins you the game, or maybe it just gets you ahead. But in most instances when we watch Bly, he doesn't go for the kill move with these all-ins. Like, he really does use it to get ahead. Now he goes to the mid game with Hydra and maybe stays ahead, maybe loses the game, but either way, he sets himself up nice for the lead right now. Now, Hydra's actually choosing Spire, and so is Bly, and everything that's currently going down favors Bly in this sort of situation. He's going to have better economy through third base. He's been mining more for longer. He should have more mutas through production than Hydra will. In fact, Hydra doesn't even have his fourth gas yet.
Yeah, a little funny to see Bly go for Roachborn first and then to Aspire, so he is taking away his gas and minerals a little bit with the ground support here, but the point is that there's going to be basically no chance for Hydra to snowball with mutas if Bly's going to get his own, whereas there was a chance if he entirely dedicated to a Roach push that just barely didn't work out. And he should be feeling pretty damn good about this game, seeing, of course, no third base. Hydra definitely can't afford one, just making as much as possible to get probably 5 mutas right off the bat.
You know, seeing his opponent Spire, I was wondering if you might just cancel his and go for like a Nidus Swarm or something instead, but no, he's just going to keep going with it. Lings, on the other hand, proving to be a little annoying for Bly. For Hydra. But this is kind of what's cool about Bly having those Lings kept. Like, he just got to scout on the Spire. He got to see that finished, too, and it wasn't canceled or anything like that. And had there been a third base taken, he certainly could have knocked that down at least once. But 5 mutas coming out for Hydra initially. It's going to be 5 for Bly, but he's just going to tap out.
I mean, I don't even know what made him,
He scouted the third, I think is what it was.
Oh, okay.
Like, he really knew, like, Hydra knew where he was in that game. So, I mean, it looked abrupt, guys, but let's be honest. Hydra was on borrowed time for the last, 2 minutes of that game. But Runes of Endion, those rocks suck. For the players in certain situations, I suppose you could say.
Back to the norm for Hydra. Dusk Towers.
Well, I got excited. It's some Zotac caster call-out thing, but it's for Heroes of the Storm and Rocket League, and I don't care about either of those games.
Oh, they're there. I was always curious about Rocket League. I never bothered buying it or playing it, but it did look like a fun game.
I've watched a lot of my favorite streamers play it, and it looks hilarious, but it doesn't look like the type of game I personally would want to play. But anyways, holding off on the ads, because we'll just get into this as soon as they're ready. It's Dusk Towers, as Zomgrab said, going back to the older maps, the more standard maps. My cat fucks off. Fine, get out of here. I didn't want you in my room anyways. Stupid. So cute. Dumb.
Aww. Cute because she's dumb.
Yeah. Guess same applies to junk girls, am I right? Nope. Nope. I will see you guys in a sec. Alright, welcome back. Game number 2 in the best of 5 finals. It is tied up 1 apiece. But this is a map that I think everyone's a little more comfortable with, and this is the map that everybody knows. In the bottom left side of Dusk Towers, we've got the blue Zerg player from Root Gaming, Hydra.
In the top right, as the early pulling Zerg, it's Bly.
Again, it got him ahead in one game, and the argument typically would be if it's not broken, don't fix it. But again, it's Bly, and this is something where Bly's not a cheesy guy who relies on this. It's just the state of the game right now really does favor players who go for early pools in most situations. In fact, for a good 3 solid months, it was how early of a pool could you go for? And people were trying 14-14, then 13-12s, then 12-12s, just trying as I guess much as you could to really get the earliest pool possible.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very, frustrating time for the players, kind of a fun time for the observers. I thought it was fun, but Bly is kind of the remnants of that stage. Hydra, I guess not the newcomer, but just he weathered the storm, and he's still planning on weathering that storm against Bly here in the finals. So it is Dusk Towers, and you can just get a wall off and cover 2 bases, which is the nice part about it. But Hydra is going for a bit of greed to that hatch first. Has the tools necessary, though. This is not a hatch gas pool or something stupidly extreme. And this should be something he can deal with. But Bly is dodging around those Overlords. He's going to be able to hide this for a very long time. Hydra's going to see the natural, but it's not going to be natural, It's going to be third base and not know.
That is a little bit, considering the map is what it is, you'd probably be better off just scouting the main and seeing what's up here than doing your normal third / natural base checks. But, this circumvents both the front Overlords. This one here might just barely see it, but unlikely.
Well, I know that Hydra's just keeping this Overlord in the middle, and Bly knows that too. 3 Banelings. 3 Banelings are being morphed in. These Lings are not going to take any detour. Yeah, that's 4 Banelings now. And Bly did very intentionally keep these Lings off, so the Overlord of Hydra is thinking, like, okay, he's got expansion, he's got expansion. Oh, wait a minute, no expansion.
Well, I like that he actually doesn't waste too much time with all of his Lings to deal with these, and he actually... I'd say he denies the scout, but Hydra seeing that many Lings, that's the scout he needed. So Spinecrawler comes up in the back, 2 Spinecrawlers even, excuse me. He's got the Baneling Nest. The Sim City for this is fantastic. He plugs the back hole with his queen, and now there is a way into the mineral line, but it's a very long way around to get there.
Oh, the other queen tries! It's going to be blocked up by a Ling, actually, so the drones do take the splash damage still. But these 3 queens, these 3 buildings, it's so clever. Does break on the right side. That leaves a lot of drones eager to be killed.
I mean, it was an almost perfect defense, but Bly gets in here, he starts getting kills, but I don't know that he actually did enough damage.
It is very messy, but it is still even drone counts. Bly, though, he has Ling speed and can continue to invest into another follow-up, so it's not over yet.
Snipes himself like 2 or 3 more drones. That was kind of nice.
Oh, that's the last one.
But he's still down a hatchery. He's going to try and take that now. More Lings are in the way, and he wants to do more damage, but Hydra is actually in a great spot, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He's up a ton of workers. Like, sure, he's missing speed again, and that kind of sucks, but it's a situation where, you know, even if Bly does get past this, and queens aren't at the front lines, like, there's a Spinecrawl in the back of this mineral line. He's got queens, 3 or 2 of them, protecting this ramp with his own Lings. I mean, Bly's going to be really hard set to break this, and Hydra's actually going for a really fast lair, which tells me he wants mutas so he can snipe off those Banelings.
This is a very interesting follow-up to an early pull. It's you know, technically not the safest. If you just go into roaches, your own Banelings, that is a lot safer. But with the ramp being able to be covered by queens and a Spinecrawler now, you can go for this. For Bly, he's going to have very limited scouting. He's going to see a lack of speed, which he might contribute to going to a lair, but also could have gone into faster roaches. So he really doesn't have any idea what's going on yet.
Ouch.
He could have tried to sneak by a Ling to see what was going on, but just backed off.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent Baneling hit, so I'm not surprised he tried to push through with it, but... I don't know, behind this, there's a Spire kind of expected. I mean, you really don't need a lot of mutas. If you're expecting your opponent to stick on Banelings for as long as they have been, if you know you're hidden hatcheries, and he did know he was hidden hatcheries, then Hydra's not in a bad spot at all. And if it was Muta versus Muta, you know, he's up 10 workers. That alone tells me that Hydra's going to win the Muta war.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a very good game for Hydra. Bly is trying to go for his own, apparently, but he's going to be so late. The one advantage he'll have is Lings, and Lings can be a very important aspect to Muta versus Muta. They'll get the run buys that really make up for your lack of gas, potentially. They'll get the queens, and maybe the larva injects won't be there for future Ling attacks, and they can be very important. Like, Hydra not having speed just looks very odd as he's going for a Spire, but more important than having more mutas, that's always questionable. More mutas usually wins.
Yeah. Not to mention, if Hydra gets his mutas out fast enough, he'll get on top of Bly before he even really has a chance to use his. And if you're picking off queens and the first 3 mutas pop and you pick off one of them because they're segmented off, I mean, there's just so many ways this gets better for Hydra. And Bly scouting that Spire is going to be very disconcerting. He starts his own, but it's so damn late. I can't see a situation where Bly wins this game unless Hydra makes massive mistakes.
It's like last game. Like, maybe Bly is just going to be like, you know what, F it, and like tap out, not have any fight actually go down.
We'll have like this awesome best of 5 files. No, okay, he's going to go for the Nidus Worm instead. I think this is a million times better of an idea. But I was going to say, it'd be so disappointing if we had 2 just kind of like tap outs like that.
Yeah, right? I do really like that Bly changed it up, though. Like, I mean, if he hadn't gotten that scout, you know, or if it was 20 seconds later, he may have already started a Spire, and a cancel that would have been really expensive. So that's really important, but, I mean, his roaches, they're going to be in one place or the other. His queen's going to be in one place or the other, so at somewhere the meters are going to do damage or be able to hold. Like, I don't know. Hydra, he does not know about this, which is pretty key. He saw a lair, but he doesn't know if it's a Spire or a Nidus Worm yet. His mutas will be able to see him. No, they back off to chase Lings. No, they don't.
Yeah, as I say, the longer he chases in the middle of the map, the better it is for Bly to have a chance for this to work. There are Overlords in a couple different positions, so Nidus Worm is going to come down here in the main.
Okay.
But what's
Hydra's still not going into the main. Like, he saw the queen count, and of course, if he saw the
look at this.
Nidus Worm.
There's nothing to go into the Nidus Worm. That's the biggest problem with this. There's going to be like 5 roaches and 3 queens. Like, I feel like a drone pool could actually handle this. Snipe that Nidus Worm right now. Oh, the roaches aren't even in there yet. It's just queens.
Or do nothing. Mutas, please. Yeah, this is silly, but you know, it's silly that Bly was hoping would bring him back into the game. The queens are sniping drones.
Okay, another Night Storm gets started, but it's not going to finish. Like, the actual entrance is going to die, so yeah, that kind of kills this. In fact, I didn't even know. Today I learned useless effects of Fear Dragon styles that will cancel a Night Storm that's being produced on the other side of the field. But the other Night Storm still sits there alive, unfortunately unable to feed anything into it. Queens are a bit of a problem because the mutas produced at home can't hold this, but when the mutas from the other side of the map either kill Bly or come back home, he'll be fine. As we see, some transfuses are holding onto this pretty nicely. But Hatchery going to go down over here, and this is getting scrappy. I mean, this is Bly's playground. Scrappy games. That's how he likes to operate, but I don't think it's going to work against what Hydra has in play.
Yeah.
Slowly
he's still killing drones. Roach has gotten to the natural, and the drones are being pulled for whatever reason. There we go. But he's losing a hatchery. He would have to kill basically about 30 more drones, bring Hydra back down to 1 drone to win this game, because Hydra hasn't lost any buildings. You know, no hatch has gone down.
I mean, like, he's been mining pretty steadily behind this. The Ling attack is a great move to all in with, but as we see, it's just not going to cut it. We have a Sport Caller trying to move in, but GG gets called, and Hydra will take a 2-1 lead here in the finals. We'll see if Bly can even it up, though, as it is his map pick next. We're going to go to a small commercial break, though, just 2 minutes, and we'll see you guys for what is possibly the final game when we return. Folks, welcome back. We're just going to hop directly into the game screen because we don't have a map intro for this. One of the new maps, Core Hall, Carnage, Knockout, KCK, KC-Tron? Core Hall, Carnage, Knockout. Very big map, 8 players, ridiculous, but again, the theory is, and we don't actually have confirmation on this, but the theory is that if you spawn, for example, where Bly does, Hydra can't spawn next to you, and he can't spawn next to you in the other ways either. It has to be kind of like these quadrants, which is what people believe is the case. And if the map is set up into 4 quadrants, that kind of makes this like a 4-player spawn map. And if that is the case, personally, I'm okay with the spawns. But we've heard some conflicting reports. We don't know if that's actually going to be the situation or not. Maybe it got cleaned up when this went live on the ladder. I don't know.
Yeah.
But early pull nonetheless at the bottom right side. It is going to be Bly.
How do you know where it is? I don't know. Okay, in the top right as the blue Zerg, it is Hydra.
Okay, so again, technically Bly should only have to scout here, 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 and here. Now, we don't know if that's the direction we'll go. We don't know if that's what he knows, but either way, he is going for this early pull once again. And I don't think this is because Bly's a cheeser who doesn't know how to play. We've specifically just seen him play really well with this play style, and it seems to be one he's very comfortable with.
The one that Fear Dragon thought was confused about was that he spawned, if I was Bly, which I was, he spawned in the 230 position up above.
Oh, up here.
Yeah.
So I think that's fine, though. That's still in the upper right quadrant if that's the case.
Well, he said that it was supposed to be like cross, like it would have only been where they are right now. So I wasn't, I had no idea. I was just like, okay, whatever. And this is the one where you could abuse, if Hydra had spawned there, you could have abused the back rocks to get into their main. Oh, this looks a lot cleaner, though.
I mean, technically you can still abuse back rocks no matter where the spawn is. It all just depends on your angle of attack. But
it's a lot easier if you're already set up to do this.
Yeah.
It's so much sillier, though, because you do have to expand away from your opponent generally, so like your third base isn't... And regardless, it's not the spawn positions. This one makes a lot more sense. It is this early pool, obviously, and I think Bly does know where he is now. Yeah, okay. There we go. This was a risky, like this would be the one map where it would not make the most sense, but Bly has either made sure to study and he knows, like, okay, it's definitely these spawn positions, which I hope he has, and he's also one of the guys that does, know the timings on rush chances first, because he loves the early pool.
Well, let's also not forget, this is another map where you could tear down the rocks. I mean, that was, it was on the other new map where he knocked down the rocks and he got really ahead on Hydra. Ling speed does finish. Hydra's got his on the way. He's also got a Roach Warren started up. If he can hold on for a little bit longer, the Roaches will be easy defense, because no matter how much speed or Ling's Bly has, it's still a really long reinforcement distance. So he may go for those tactics that we saw earlier again. Yeah.
Okay, so this makes sense, but honestly, breaking down the rocks is not that bad for Hydra in this position. Like, he didn't spend a lot of minerals and gas defending a natural, and then ended up just straight up getting killed. He just canceled it and went on his merry way. So to play a macro game from here is not ideal, because he went for roaches instead of like more drones, and he's still behind in a hatchery, but it could be a situation where he tried to macro out a bit. but I think he's gonna have to, build a lair.
It would have been really cool if Bly had actually got these lings to sneak in again. He could have knocked down these rocks as well and kept Hydra from taking a third. But,
oh my god.
Looks like he is going to try and use the back rocks. So we're going to have somebody finally take advantage of this. Hydra, in the meantime, is very focused on the front. He wants to get these roaches out, but no vision, no detection, and no way to tell that these back rocks are being knocked down. So Bly might just get some really sneaky lings in here, or even worse, banelings.
And he'll definitely get a scout, which is very important. I think he saw the hatchery go down, but that's to be expected. Again, you just have an excess of minerals. But to see the fast lair, that's something that you would definitely want to check, because I think it's for a Nidus Worm. I mean, I guess you could swap and go for a Spire, but this is a very interesting game. Hydra is trying to take advantage of the fact that rocks are broken down for at least a little while. He's breaking them down himself now, though, and I'm not sure he'll be able to really do much, though, with 5 roaches and a handful of lings. And I guess for the future, he'll break them down. I guess they just send his lings across the map. He was not getting very much scouting. He just had an Overlord pop here. So finally he's going to be able to see Bly's main base. Did Hydra go for a stupidly quick lair just to get roach speed?
Maybe. Lings don't actually finish knocking down the rocks. Looks like that roach did catch them. But while this goes on, Hydra, roach speed or not, it's going to be a weird fighting this many lings, because Bly is going to be able to get surrounds on the current counts. Even if all the roaches are popped out, 8 of them, I still feel like this might be enough lings to catch them and surround.
That's kind of what happens. The drones might want to help out here. The queen trying to help out. Some Micro going down. They're turning into Ravagers. Now the drones help out with the hold position to help the queen. More roaches are on the way, and it looks like Hydra did just go for the lair to get that faster roach speed. He doesn't have a lot of roaches to use it, but he does have the tech advantage in roaches. Bly's only recently finished up his roach warren and is getting drones right now, making a ton of minerals, despite having a third base. And I believe having his queens the entire time.
Huh. Well, if this does go Roach Ravager versus Roach Ravager, it is worth noting for Bly. Hydra, well, very good at the macro aspect of this, has been pretty terrible when it comes to fighting against Corrosive Biles. Like, I don't know if it's just online complacency, if it's not enough, like, emphasis to win a game, but, like, I just swear to God, like, Hydra eats more Corrosive Biles from his opponents than any other Zerg player in ZvZs that we cast. And for that one reason, I feel like Bly still has a pretty good chance, not just because, like, he got leads early on, but just the strategies seem to favor him if it comes to that. But if it ends up being what he did on, was it Prion Terraces, where Hydra's just going to go mass roaches, then maybe it's just numbers win, as they tend to do in ZvZ.
Mm-hmm. And this has been a very odd game, and I'm thinking that they both changed tactics multiple times through, seeing the rocks broken down, seeing the early pool. I mean, was it really the intention of Hydra to only go for the lair for that roach speed? Even if it wasn't, it's working out right now. They've actually come to a fairly even point. Of course, Bly, with that much faster third base, should start to skyrocket in numbers soon as his saturation just gets cleaner, but it's not quite at that point yet. He has been winning the income advantage for the last 2 minutes. Slightly, like not in like a totally topsy-turvy way, but with that third base, it should be getting even better. He's going for an infestation pit? Well, that's interesting.
I'm wondering if that's for Hive or if that's actually for Fungals. Fungals would be an interesting choice.
Huh. It's again off of 2 bases. Like, Hydra's doing something always 1 base too few. Like roach speed on 1 base while your other one's finishing up. Infestation pit without a third base. It just looks very odd.
Don't you dare tell him what he can't do.
I'm not saying, it's just not normal. Okay, it's fine. If the game really continues on for a much longer period of time, I think Bly is not going to let that happen. Like, we're going to have this interesting dynamic where it's not just about this attack path, but they're both going to want to break down the rocks to the right for their thirds and attack across their thirds. It could be a fun game, but Hydra is a little bit lower in that army supply. He is sticking purely on roaches, though, while Bly is going to try and get some mutas out.
Well, knocking down the walls definitely gives him a better angle for possibility for attacks. But this is still, like, I don't think something you want to push through. 2 chokes when there's Ravagers on the other side of it, you're going to have a bad time. In the meantime, he does circumvent the backside. I guess those rocks are still low from earlier. There's an Overlord looking, so he's going to see this coming, but this does keep Hydra completely out of position. Like he is very out of position for this.
Well, Hydra's out of position for this, but Bly's out of position for the attack on the right. So he does see it though. Like there's an overload right there. Okay, his reinforcements are going there now. A little unfortunate for Hydra, who would have loved to got a surprise attack.
This is base trade time?
Yeah, actually. Hydra moves the rest of his army entirely out of position.
Ace 1, Ace 2, boys. Bly's got to make the decisions right now to go in, though, because every second counts at a base trade. As he's trying to get a Spire behind this, which is kind of funny. If he has a couple, if he has a couple mutas, yeah, he'll eventually clean everything up. But it's not about cleaning this up and taking like a great fight. It's about cleaning it up so you can win the follow-up fight afterwards. As again, they continue to trade this out. Problem is, Bly doesn't have any drones outside of his base, and Hydra does, so Bly can't really build elsewhere. Oh, no, I take that back.
Hey, sneaky, sneaky. But even if he didn't, like, mutas should win. Well, I guess, yeah, if he didn't, then the base race could actually happen. But now that he does have a drone outside, maybe he can sneak some other ones, he should win it with the mutas.
Lings are killing a lot of drones for Hydra, too. I mean, Hydra had the money to build another hatchery, but he's not doing it.
Just building extractors everywhere. The mutas do not have an answer except just trying to run away from them and live longer than they can do damage to you.
If Bly builds a hatchery, I think Bly wins this game. Like, super
I think
hardcore.
So, too. Like, he's kept his army... what?
He's building a spawning pool, like, off of
Hydra.
Creep. Yeah, so that's going to bleed out.
Well, there's no safe face to do it, and I think Hydra actually is just going to lose here. You can't beat the Roach army, that's going to be it.
The longer he takes to actually take a fight, the mutas just chip away at everything slowly and surely. Lings on the other side of the map just dancing around, killing whatever they can. I mean, Bly still has to put a hatchery down, though, and I do get a little bit worried for this, because he's not running out of buildings just yet, but this is him right here. This could be what wins or loses the game. There we go, finally places that down. Oh, did he wait on purpose for it to be the reveal? I don't know, but GG gets called, and looks like Bly will tie up the series 2-2, giving us a nice, wonderful ace match.
Okie dokie. Well, that was weird for multiple reasons, but I'm going to blame the map first and foremost.
I mean, it's always uncomfortable and different, but yeah, it's going to be Hydra's pick going into this very last game. I guess a small break as we get in there. See you guys in 2 minutes. All right, it's tied up. 2-2 here for the finals of the Corsair Cup. Again, shout out to thank you to Corsair for making this possible, but to nobody's surprise, in the top left, he is going for an early pull on a quick gas. It is going to be on Fire's Bly.
In the bottom left, as the blue Zerg, it is Hydra wisely going for a pull first.
I mean, it's coupled with the fact that this is Arena. The map kind of tells you beware before you even get going, but then followed up by the fact that it's Bly. Yeah, you double down and you play safe. Now, I don't think you have to play scared, but you've got to play safe. And that's why I like this pull first quite a bit.
Right, yeah. Also, it is, noteworthy that Bly was starting to go like, hurry, 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 fast, fast, fast. And I think Hydra might have seen that as well. But we'll see if the game ends here. Bly is committing to gas over 100. Although he's waiting a little longer to start that speed. He's just made all the lings, so should be speed plus a Baneling Nest. And Hydra will have to defend the best visibility. Now Hydra, I think the best to defend against this is actually trying to just hold with slow lings and get to roaches, and then your counterattack is very powerful. That's the one good thing about Arena, is that you can do that defense style. But we'll see.
This, by the way, got skipped by the overload right away, so Bly not holding back, not trying to play sneaky. He just wants to come with that brute force and squeeze out a victory.
Mm-hmm. Well, goes for the hatchery first. Probably a little bummed to see that it's not basically already done, because I would have told him, it was a pool or a hatch first. And we'll have to back off. It's too many lings. Gonna wait for his Baneling Nest. Speed's a long ways off. And Hydra is getting a spine crawler. He's gonna be ready to pull move that down to the low ground whenever he feels safe enough to do so, bring in queens. He has extra minerals, because again, he's not going for that gas. If he pushes this back, and it looks like he should be able to push this back, then he's going to add gas and go directly into roaches.
Bly can it's not even about taking a fight right here, but he just backs away and can get a couple of banelings out. He'll be in such a great spot, but he baits away from the queen. Very important, because lings versus lings, he's got the advantage, but not when the queen's involved. It's a little bit messy, but he takes a really good fight to start. And those banelings look like they will finish up. That queen is so far away off creep, too. She's not going to be good if she gets surrounded.
It's very scary. Speed finishes up as the banelings finish up for Bly, so double whammy coming in. But that spine crawler has rooted. There's another queen on the way. Actually, another queen on the way as the one from the main comes down to help out. Now, Bly could try and run past to the main where there is no defense and just start getting drone kills, but he is very, very all in. He'd have to get a lot of drone kills to warrant that.
I mean, I wonder if the Banelings are better off just looking towards the Spine Crawler than anything else. I mean, obviously he wants to connect to these Zerglings, but it's not going to happen, and Bly kind of gives away a lot of these Banelings. Last one decides to go for Zerglings instead of finishing off that Spine. It's questionable, but the 3 queens are now gone, and that Spine is so close to dead. Both boys just reinforcing on Lings and Lings and more Lings right now. There's a small drone lead for Hydra, but we'll see if that matters. A small awkward ping comes out of Hydra as well.
Yeah, apparently something changed the hotkeys in Legacy of the Void, so it makes it a little more easy to do that accidentally. The Spine Crawler does end up going down. Another queen pops out again. Hydra, no gas. There's a lot of excess minerals to continually replenish queens. That is a strong defense right now, as well as remake another Spine Crawler. And Bly, now that he's pushed back on his side of his map, is really starting to run out of steam. That second attack was really his greatest. Now it's problematic.
I mean, there's been a couple situations where he's been able to throw down that hatchery and macro out behind it, but that drone didn't get down there. He doesn't. Oh, well, he's going to get some Baneling hits, which would be nice.
Oh,
but
damn.
he is still behind on the hatchery. Now, the funny thing is, by investing in these additional Spine Crawlers and the additional Queens, Bly actually isn't as behind as it looks. Keep in mind, just the 2 Spine Crawlers alone is the cost of a hatchery, and that's what Bly's been behind this entire time. Now, with the drone counts being so low and not needing to fully saturate a second base just yet, Bly is still not that far behind just yet. Income graph heavily in the favor of Hydra, but it's by a couple hundred, and now by tens of minerals, not by thousands at a time.
Yeah. Well, that should change shortly as Hydra continues droning, and now there is that Roach Warren. So even if the income doesn't exactly burst forward for Hydra, the tech should. And of course, Arena being very short rush distance, whenever Hydra decides to attack, it could be hard for Bly to hold. Bly goes for his own Roach Warren right now. Unfortunately, it will take away from, what could have been useful Lings, running around, getting into the bases and whatnot.
This is where, if Bly takes to this like Horror has in the past, where you go for Banelings and Roaches for the all-in and use the Banelings to take out the Spine Crawlers, I actually like Bly's position. But if it's just Roaches, I actually think Bly's going to fall behind and lose this game. We'll see what angle of attack he takes, though.
You just can't afford that much, That was the problem, is that you can barely afford Roaches, much less Lings on top of that, and then Banelings on top of that's not going to happen either. He's really just low on minerals. Has enough gas, that's fine, but the minerals are a big problem. Hydra's really starting to get very far ahead in the drone count, up by 9 now, and of course he's getting that +1 upgrade. That's probably what Hydra will wait for to push out. There's no reason to push out before that and risk anything, as he probably knows he's in the lead.
So, mention this in chat, but I'll bring it up again. If you guys, somebody says, I'm paying for this not by watching ads, but by buying Corsair Gear, I think that's really cool. If you guys buy any Corsair Gear through the BaseTradeTV links, let us know, but tweet it at us too, and tag Corsair. They love seeing that stuff. I've talked to them, and their favorite thing to see is when their customers get engaged. And I know a lot of you guys are already engaged with us on Twitter, especially when it comes to retweeting matches and other things.
Engaged?
Don't get weird, man. Keep it in your pants, Grab. Anyways, my point of it is, the ring, what are you thinking? The point of this is, though, if you guys actually buy any Corsair Gear, whether it's RAM for your computer or a headset and a keyboard, whatever the combination or singular thing is, tweet it at us. We love this stuff, and it helps us out with the sponsors a lot, too. As they'll know that, hey, we put $100 into this Corsair Cup, and somebody bought some gear, that's money well spent.
Yeah. That's going to be really cool.
So
hopefully you like it.
Bly is starting to fall pretty far behind. And it's not good. The upgrades for Hydra are going to play a huge factor. We got Spine Crawlers advancing through the middle of the map. These will actually help a ton.
Well, those queens didn't have to die like that. Once again, Hydra is showing a little bit of his complacency. Just walks through the corrosive biles, but he's such overwhelming numbers, it didn't really matter. Just losing that queen was a little unfortunate. When Ravager just morphs and is, okay, awkward. Never know I'm here. And then he dies.
Yeah. Alright, so Hydra really should just take this game. I don't know really what else to say about it. Bly fought really well, and he had some pretty good games. It showed us the strength of early pools in some situations, but then the folly in others. Ravager Corsair Bow's being aimed at the eggs because he wanted to kill the roaches before they even had a chance to come out. But 2 Spine Crawlers in your opponent's natural, Hydra's feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, GG.
So congratulations to Hydra. He'll win today's cup. He'll get $60 for first place. Bly will walk away with a nice 20. So that's lunch. That's dinner. Not too bad. And of course, we wish Bly the best of luck as he does go on to fight in the Gauntlet next. In fact, I think his matches probably start within the half an hour, as I believe Kelzer and Polt are live right now. So, that being said, we'll probably host those guys. We don't have a lot of post-stream stuff to do today, as I have to, like I said, take care of my BattleNet issues. So, sorry for the constant restarts and the wonkiness that happened today. It was truly a unique day here for the Corsair Cup, but we have a bit of time off now. So, Zymer and I are still going to be casting a best of 7 or 2 over the next couple days through the CSL channel, but we're going to not have a lot going for BaseTradeTV. So, either I'll stream some Stardew, we'll stream some Overwatch, maybe we'll come make a last-minute cup. I don't know. But we have nothing planned for the majority of this week. So, we definitely will be back in some capacity. We just don't know what. So thank you guys for joining us for the Corsair Cup, as it may be our last big cast for the week. But that being said, Saturday, Sunday, Monday are now our powerhouse days. Saturday we got the Alima League, Sundays we got Matcherino, and Mondays we got the Corsair Cups. And then of course you got Fear Dragon bringing Chairs for Gaming intermittently as well for some North American stuff. So good things all over the place, just concentrated around the weekends more so. But thank you, of course, again, Corsair, for making all this possible. Love being sponsored by a big name and, of course, by friendly people over at Corsair. And make sure you guys check out the links down below if you're looking to buy any Corsair gear. Shy of that, you know our regular sponsor shoutouts, guys. Cheers for Gaming. BaseTradeTV is the code. You get $20 off shipping. Some people are actually saying they're out of stock, which is good. That means you guys are buying the chairs, so 2 thumbs up. Yord Wood Watches, we're going to try and get that tournament going sooner than later. And, of course, G2A. Use promo code BASE when checking out. ZombieGub, any final words or shoutouts before we go?
You can just follow me on Twitter at ZG Gaming and on Twitch, ZombieGrub.
Cool stuff. Of course, for me, follow the channel, guys. Follow me on Twitter at Riff_Kings. And we are going to go to, like I said, host probably the Gauntlet folks. So go say hi to them, spam some BaseTradeTV emotes when you get there, and we'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.